Please, if you love stories like this, stories filled with soul and wisdom, kindly subscribe to my channel. I make many more videos just like this one. Thank you so much. Have you ever wondered why some people wake up smiling, while others open their eyes with a sigh? Is it because they're luckier, richer, healthier? Or is it simply because they remembered to whisper 2 sacred words before their feet touch the ground? Thank you. Let me ask you something strange. Can a cold, leftover piece of bread save someone's life? Sounds silly, maybe even impossible. But what if I told you that it did? And what if that small act of gratitude echoed through time and returned as a miracle to save the one who once gave? Would you still think gratitude is just a feel-good phrase? Or would you begin to believe that it might be the most powerful prayer you can offer to the universe each morning? Let me tell you a story, one that begins in sorrow and ends in light. His name was Thomas, a quiet man, a humble man, a blacksmith who lived alone in a small village by the river. Every morning, Thomas would sit outside his cottage, holding a single piece of bread in his hands. Before he took a bite, he would close his eyes and softly whisper, "Thank you for letting me live to see another day." Some villagers thought he was strange. They mocked his habit. They said things like, "Why thank the sky for bread you paid for yourself?" But Thomas never argued. He simply smiled and continued with his day. But Thomas wasn't always this peaceful. 10 years ago, he was a different man. Hot-tempered, bitter, full of anger, until the day he lost the love of his life. Her name was Emily. She was gentle, kind, always smiling. One rainy evening, a horse carriage lost control and struck Emily as she crossed the road. She was gone in an instant. Thomas screamed, cursed the heavens. He cried alone in his workshop for days that felt like years. "Why her?" he cried. "Why not me? Take me instead." He stopped working, stopped eating, stopped caring. One night he wandered drunk through the streets. Rain poured from the sky. His clothes were soaked, his heart shattered. He collapsed under a tree near the old bridge. No one saw him, no one cared, until a small hand gently touched his shoulder. He opened his eyes. There stood a little boy, barefoot, covered in dirt, no more than 10 years old. The boy held out a piece of bread, a cheap, dry, half-eaten piece of bread, and he said, "Mister, you look hungry. I don't have much, but you can have mine." Thomas stared at him, speechless. Tears streamed down his face as he accepted the bread with trembling hands. He took a bite, and for the first time in days, he felt warmth, not from the bread, but from the kindness of a stranger who had nothing to give, but gave anyway. From that night forward, Thomas changed. Every morning he would hold a piece of bread, close his eyes, and whisper, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Years passed. One cold winter evening, Thomas was walking back from the market when he noticed someone sitting by the fountain. It was a young woman, shivering, eyes filled with despair. She looked like she hadn't eaten in days. Without hesitation, Thomas sat beside her. He opened his bag and offered her his bread. He smiled and said, "Everything passes, even pain. Eat something and be grateful you're still breathing." The woman burst into tears. She said nothing, but that night she found the strength to go on. Her name was Grace. Years later, Grace became a doctor, a healer, a light for many, and one day, an elderly man was rushed to her hospital. His heart had stopped. He had collapsed in the street. She fought for him, used every skill she had to bring him back.
He lived. When he opened his eyes, she gasped. It was him. The old man from the fountain. The man who gave her bread. The man who gave her hope. And he whispered, just as he did every morning, "Thank you."
Why did Thomas change? Why did a man so full of anger become peaceful? It wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It was gratitude. In the teachings of the Buddha, gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a practice, a path, a powerful form of mindfulness. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, these two people are hard to find in the world. One who is first to do a kindness, and one who is grateful and thankful for a kindness done. And in the Dhammapad, he reminded us, health is the greatest gift, contentment, the greatest wealth, gratitude, the highest virtue. So what does this mean, for you and for me? It means that when you say, thank you, and truly mean it, you are planting seeds of good karma. Every thank you is like a drop of water, feeding the roots of your future joy. Think of Thomas again. He lost everything, but he found peace through one thing, gratitude. Because gratitude replaces anger with acceptance. It turns sorrow into compassion. It transforms poverty into richness of the heart. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent. Your happiness, your suffering, even your breath, everything changes. But one thing remains, your power to respond with gratitude. Even when life hurts, even when things fall apart, even when all you have left is a piece of bread, can you still say thank you? Would you? If the person you love most was taken from you, could you still feel grateful for the day? Most people wouldn't. And that's okay, because gratitude is not something you're born with. It's something you build. You don't wake up one morning suddenly thankful. You practice it, one step at a time. With every breath, with every small act, with every moment when you say, thank you, instead of, why me? The Buddha also taught us this. Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. If we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we did get sick, at least we didn't die. So, let us all be thankful. Even in hardship, there is always something to be thankful for. Always. Start small. Thank your breath. Thank the meal on your table. Thank your body for carrying you. Thank the stranger who smiled at you. Thank the silence that lets you hear your own thoughts. And if nothing else, thank the universe for letting you live through one more precious moment. Studio Microphone Part 4 Call to Action and Reflection, 11 Labs Format. So now, let me ask you, how did you start your day today? Did you wake up already tired? Already stressed? Already comparing yourself to others? Or did you wake up with a quiet smile and whisper, thank you for this life? You don't need a perfect life. You don't need more money. You don't need everyone's approval. You only need one thing, to begin transforming your world. Gratitude. Try this, just for 7 days, each morning, before your feet touch the floor. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, place your hand over your heart, and say, thank you for this breath. Thank you for this body. Thank you for this chance to live well today. You'll notice a shift. Your mind becomes calmer. Your stress begins to fade. Your heart feels lighter. And slowly, the world around you feels more gentle. Why? Because when you change inside, everything outside reflects that change. That's the law of karma. You receive what you give. When you give gratitude, you receive blessings. When you radiate peace, you attract harmony. When you give from the heart, the universe responds in ways you never imagined. Think of Thomas again. He didn't ask for a reward. He gave from his heart. And when he needed help the most, that kindness came back to him. That is karma, not punishment, not coincidence, but the sacred return of every thought, every word, every action. So ask yourself now, what energy are you sending into the world? Each morning, is it worry, anger, fear, or is it love, peace, gratitude? Every morning, you're not just waking up your body, you are awakening your destiny. If this story touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about, someone who may need it more than you know. Leave a comment below. Tell me, what's one thing you're grateful for today? And tell me honestly, do you believe gratitude can change your karma? Or do you think it's just a beautiful idea? Let's open a real conversation. Let's build a space for hearts that still believe in kindness. And if you've ever had a moment where someone's small kindness changed your whole day, please share it below. Your story could be the reason someone finds hope today. And finally, if you truly believe in the power of gratitude, say it with me now, out loud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May you live with peace. May your heart stay soft. May your soul always remember, gratitude is the beginning of everything beautiful.